before I was diagnosed with bladder cancer, I had a remarkable health. Between, well, just around Christmas of 2020, I had a bladder infection. And my local physician did a test and he said, we'll put you on an antibiotic, but there's some things I'm a little worried about. So I'm going to refer you to an oncologist. They saw a postage-size fuzzy area on the side of the bladder wall. And about a week later, he called and said that sample we took indicates bladder cancer. We talked to my wife's oncologist. He said, there are clinical trials that deal with different types of cancer. Unfortunately, his medical group did not have any clinical trials going. So he said Henry Ford Hospital did.
Clinical trials are very important. That gives us the insight into the future. Bladder cancer is a very aggressive disease with a high mortality or death rate associated with it. And at times our hands are tied with what different types of treatments we could offer. And that's where the role of clinical trials come in, where the use of a newer drug or a newer therapy can help patients get onto that and try that before it becomes introduced to the rest of the population. And that is an added advantage that patients can get from having their care at Henry Ford. So Neobladder is basically a method of substituting the process of elimination of urine from the body once a patient has lost their bladder. Now, whenever somebody has advanced stage bladder cancer, they have to have their bladder removed. If you are a candidate for this surgery, we create what we call as a Neobladder. This is created by the help of your small intestine or small bowels, where we take a segment of the small bowel and configure into a ball or sphere-like configuration and let it sit where the bladder used to sit, and that helps in the elimination of the urine from the body through a more natural process.
Diane and I love bike riding, going for walks, and doing things with our kids and grandkids. So began the process of learning how to use a new bladder. And we had a new grandchild at the time, so the family joke was who's going to be potty trained first? My granddaughter at 1.5 years or me, and I think I've won the race. Well, we have a family cottage. We spend a lot of time up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, right on the St. Mary's River. So what do when you have a 120-year-old cottage? You go up there and work on the cottage. So the good news is I've still been able to do the work, and so to say, how am I doing? I'm doing almost everything that I was doing before cancer.